Hello students, I am Gurleen Kaur, an assistant professor in Tirthankar Mahavir University, and I'm going to teach you the subject environmental studies. So our today's topic is pollution case studies. So in today's class, we are going to study the different case studies which are related to the pollution. So this is our first slide, which consists of introduction to pollution case studies. So this will tells us what we are going to study in this class. So this presentation explores 4 real-world case studies that illustrate the devastating impacts of air, water, soil, and noise pollution around the world. Through these in-depth examples, we will learn valuable lessons and identify effective strategies to address environmental degradation. So in today's class, we are going to study different types of case studies and the valuable lessons which we are learned from these studies, and all those corrective measures which has been taken by an individual to control such type of harmful pollution so that one can address environmental degradation. So this is the introduction to our different types of case studies which we are going to study further. Now the case study 1, which is related to air pollution in Beijing. So under this case study, we are going to study how the air pollution appears in Beijing causes are disastrous impacts in that area. So let us start our case study. So Beijing, the capital city of China, has experienced severe air pollution over the past few decades. Rapid industrialization, urbanization, and an increase in vehicle emissions have significantly contributed to the deterioration of air quality in the city. This case study examines the sources, impacts, and mitigation measures associated with the air pollution in the Beijing. So under this case study, we are going to study the one of the major case of the Beijing, which is related to the air pollution. So before starting this, let's first understand what is air pollution. So when the hazardous pollutants mixed with the air and it changes the biological properties of the air, then it is known as air pollution. When some of the harmful pollutants which are being released directly into the atmosphere and causes the air pollution, and air pollution arises due to various sources that can be man-made sources as well as natural sources. So man-made sources likewise industrialization, urbanization, and increased vehicle emissions are the major causes of the air pollution. So Beijing is the capital city of China, and it has experienced a severe air pollution over the past few decades. So under Beijing, it has been observed that the air pollution is increasing rapidly, and the reason behind this is rapid industrializations. When the industries are growing rapidly at a very rapid growth, urbanization is there, and an increase in the vehicle emissions have significantly contributed towards the deteriorations of the air quality in the city. So the air quality of the city is being destroyed due to all these several factors. So this case study, this will help us in examining the sources, various sources from where the air pollution is arising, and what are its various impacts, and how it can be controlled, and what are its mitigation measures associated with the air pollution in Beijing. Now we are going to study what are the sources of the air pollution. The air pollution which is being arising rapidly in the Beijing, which is the city of China. What are its different kind of sources from where the air pollution is being arises? So different sources of pollution are industrial emissions, vehicle emissions, construction dust, household emissions, transboundary pollution. So we will study this one by one. First one is industrial emissions, that how industries is being contributing towards the air pollution. So the factories and power plants around Beijing burn coal and other fossil fuels, releasing large quantities of pollutants into the atmosphere. So the factories and the industries who are involving in the work of production and manufacturing, they uses various different types of chemicals like burning of coals and other fossil fuels, and due to this various pollutants are being released into the atmosphere, and those pollutants are commonly known as sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxide, and particulate matter. So these are the harmful various chemicals which is being released into the atmosphere, and due to which the air pollution is increasing. So industries are the major sources of the air pollutions in the Beijing city of the China. Next is vehicle emissions. As we are already studied under the topic of air pollution, that vehicles are also contributing towards the air pollution. How? That the rise in the number of vehicles has led to increased emission of nitrogen oxide, carbon monoxide, hydrocarbons, and PM. Traffic congestions exacerbates the problems by increasing idle time and emissions. So we can say that vehicles are also contributing towards the air pollution by releasing those harmful gases such as nitrogen oxide and carbon monoxide, hydrocarbons, etc. So one should note, when the if option is available, then one should cut off the use of the vehicles, as they are also increasing many harmful gases. Likewise, industries. Next is construction dust. So dust is also a major cause for creating the air pollution. When the construction work is being going on, the dust arising from all those sites uh, is also responsible for creating the air pollution. So we can say that ongoing construction projects release significant amounts of dust and PM into the air. So construction dust is also held liable for creating the air pollution. Next is household emissions. Use of coal and other fuels for heating and cooking in the residential area contributes to indoor and outdoor air pollution. So household activities are also responsible for creating the air pollution. How? If we are cooking something, if we are heating it with the help of fuel, so the gas releasing from all those fuels and the gas releasing by cooking our food, so those gas are very are also held responsible for creating the air pollution, as they contribute to the indoor, and which ultimately results in the outdoor air pollution. So indoor air pollution, which is arising due to the heating and cooking in the residential area, which creates the outdoor air pollution. Next is transboundary pollution. Pollution from neighboring regions and countries also affects Beijing's air quality, as pollutants can travel long distances. So the transboundary pollution, which means the pollution which is from the neighboring countries, which is from another nations. So if the pollution is present in another nation which is neighbor to us, so the pollution that neighboring country is also being affected, and due to that our country may also might get affected, as the pollutants can travel over a very long distance. So transboundary pollution is also held responsible for creating the air pollution. So these are the some of the sources of the air pollution which is being observed at the time when the Beijing is suffering from the air pollution. So uh, uh, in Beijing, these are the various sources of air pollution which is being observed, and those can be industrial emissions, vehicle emissions, construction dust, household emissions, and transboundary pollution. So these are the sources of the air pollution in Beijing, which is the capital of China. Severe smoke, health impacts, and temporary fixes. So this slide consists of all three components. Severe smoke is also contributing towards the air pollution. Beijing has struggled with hazardous level of air pollution, with thick smoke blanketing the city and reducing visibility to under 200 meters on many days. So when the air pollution is rising rapidly, it has been observed that the visibility of the area is being diminishing. It is not easily visible around the area. So the thick smoke layer is being covering the city, which reduce the visibility to under 200 meters on many days. So air pollution can be easily identifiable when the visible area is not easily seen with the naked eye. So, a thick smoke blanketing the city and reducing the visibility to 200 meters on many days. Health impact. Air pollution in Beijing has caused a surge in respiratory illness, lung cancer, premature deaths, especially among vulnerable pollution population. So, the impact has been seen on many areas, like peoples are suffering when the due to air pollution many respiratory diseases is being caused, like lung cancer, and premature deaths are also there. And especially when the population is being vulnerable, which is being situated in some of the rural areas, they are also suffering a lot. So health impacts is being also observed after the air pollution in Beijing is being increased. Temporary fixes. The government has implemented temporary measures like vehicle restrictions and factory closures, but long-term sustainable solutions are still needed. So, government has taken some of the corrective measures to control the air pollution, like vehicle restrictions and the factory closure for the some time. Like some of the vehicles which are creating more pollution is being restricted by the government, and the closure of factory areas is also being done. But the long term sustainable solutions are still pending. So one should come out with the long term sustainable solutions so that the air pollution can be controlled. So these are the temporary, they act as a temporary fixes but not a permanent solution. This slide consists of impacts of air pollution. So impact of air pollution on human health, environmental and economically. So health, air pollution has severe health impacts including respiratory and cardiovascular diseases, lung cancer and premature deaths. Vulnerable groups such as children, the elderly and those with pre-existing health conditions are particularly at risk. So we can say that the health of the individual is being compromised due to the air pollution, as the harmful pollutants which consisting the air pollution like sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxides, they mix up with the atmosphere and they are being consumed by the human, and later on the humans are suffering from the many harmful diseases like respiratory and cardiovascular diseases, lung cancer, premature deaths. But the vulnerable groups such as children, the elderly and those with pre-existing health condition are particularly at risk. So and it become more riskier for all those people who are already suffering from some other diseases and who has their pre-existing health conditions, and especially for the children. So the health of the individual of the humans is also being at risk due to the air pollution. Environmental pollutants contribute to acid rain, which can damage crops, forests, and aquatic ecosystem. PM can also reduce visibility, affecting daily activities and transportation. So, the air pollution is also affecting our environment in many ways, like pollutants which have been produced due to air pollution. They ultimately contribute towards the acid rain, as we have already know that when the sulfur dioxide and the sulfur mono and the nitrogen oxides which is being released through the industries, which is being released through the vehicles, those harmful substances is being mixed in with the water droplets present in the atmosphere, and which ultimately results into the acid rain, and which can easily damage the crop, forest and aquatic ecosystem. As we are already know that the acid rain is very hazardous, like as it consists of acidic. How it can be measured? It can be measured when the pH level which is normal one is 7. When the pH level is diminished by 7, it means the rain which has been fallen down is of acidic. So that acidic rain may be held responsible for damaging the crops, forest and the aquatic ecosystem. And PM can also reduce the visibility, which means that people are not able to see clearly around them, as the visibility may also get affected due to the fog. that fog consists of air pollution, that gaseous impact only. So affecting, which leads to the affecting daily activities and also to the transportation. Next is economic. Health issues lead to increased healthcare cost and loss of productivity. Environmental damage can affect agriculture and tourism, leading to economic losses. So when the pollution is increasing, like in Beijing we can say, when other nations has observed that Beijing is suffering from air pollution, so the people who can easily travel from one place to another, they stop themselves, and due to this there can be a economic loss when when there is no movement of people from one place to another. And the second reason could be that due to air pollution, crops may get affected, agriculture may get affected, and which may also become a reason of suffering economic loss. So economically also we are suffering when the air pollution is being increasing in the country of the China. So impacts of air pollution can be observed easily on the health of the humans when they are suffering from many harmful diseases like respiratory and cardiovascular diseases. It can be easily observed on the environments when the aquatic as well as terrestrial life of the ecosystem is being suffering by consuming all those harmful pollutants. And economically also, when the tourism and agriculture is being affected due to the air pollution, so economic loss is also is being suffered. Now these are some of the mitigations measures which is being adopted by the Beijing, the city which is being situated in China. So mitigation measures which are being adopted: first one is regulation and policies, second is industrial upgradation, third is vehicle emissions control, fourth is public transportation, fifth green energy, and sixth is afforestation. So regulation and policies which is being formed by the China government are as follows. The Chinese government has implemented several policies to control air pollution, including the Air Pollution Prevention and Control Action Plan 2013 and the 3-year action plan for winning the Blue Sky Defense Battle 2018. These policies focus on reducing emissions from key sectors, improving air quality monitoring, and enforcing stricter standards. So these are some of the plan and policies which is being formulated by the government of China to control the air pollutions. And that those policies consist of the Air Pollution Prevention and Control Action Plan 2013, 3-year action plan for winning the Blue Sky Defense Battle, which is being formed in 2018. So these policies is being adopted by the citizens of the China so that the air pollution can get controlled. Next is industrial upgradation. So industries are being encouraged to adopt cleaner technologies and processes. The government provides incentives for energy efficiency and emissions reduction. So the upgradation among the industries is also being done. Like for example, earlier the gaseous chemicals which is being produced in the industry is being directly released into the atmosphere without any filtration, but later on the chimneys are being adopted by various industries so that cleaner technologies and processes can be done so that the air pollution can be treated. So industries are being encouraged to adopt the technological cleaner and processes so that the air pollution can be controlled. And also government has provided incentives for energy efficiency and the emission reduction. So all those industries who are producing less air pollutions and who are reducing the usage of all those gaseous emissions, the government is providing them different incentives so that industrialists may get encouraged and the air pollution may get decreased. Next is Vehicle emissions control. Measures include promoting electric and hybrid vehicles, improving fuel quality, and implementing stricter emission standards for vehicles. So, vehicles are also contributing in controlling the at first they are spreading the air pollution, but when their usage is being controlled, so the gases releasing from the vehicles is also get diminished, and which ultimately results in spreading less air pollution. So the measures which includes promoting electric and hybrid vehicles, which improves the fuel quality, and implementing stricter emission standards for all the vehicles. Next is public transportation. Expanding and improving public transportation system helps reduces the reliance on private vehicles, thereby decreasing emissions. So when the peoples are traveling through the public transport instead of traveling with their own transport, so it also helps in reducing the air pollution. As less vehicles are being found on the roads, it means there is a less emissions of these harmful hazardous gases. So public transportation system is also helping in reducing the air pollution, as many of the passengers are traveling through the public transport instead of carrying their own vehicles. But when they used to carry their own vehicles, then in that case the emissions of the different kinds of harmful gases can be there, which leads to the air pollution. So public transportation is being encouraged by the government of the China. Next is green energy. So the green energy concept is being introduced. The shift towards renewable energy sources like wind, solar, and hydropower is reducing dependence on coal and other polluting fuels. So earlier peoples are depending more on the fossil fuels, but the for the sake of reducing the usage of fossil fuels, as we already studied that the burning of those fuels may create a hazardous pollution by creating a different uh, harmful gases like carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and nitrogen oxide. So there people are increasing towards the use of renewable energy like wind, solar, and hydropower. Afforestation. Planting trees and creating green spaces help absorb carbon dioxide and other pollutants, contributing to improved air quality. So, as this also we have studied before, that afforestation is a major solution which is being contributing towards any kind of pollution, as we have already studied that the plants are easily absorb the carbon dioxide which is being present in the atmosphere due to the industries and vehicle emissions. So all those harmful gases is being absorbed by the plant. So if we plant more and more trees, then the gaseous elements which is very hazardous present over area is being absorbed by the plants, which may leads to a healthier air quality. So afforestation is the solution of every kind of pollution. One should plant more and more trees. Deforestation should be restricted so that they can easily absorb the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and the air pollution may got diminished. So these are some of the mitigation measures which is being adopted by the Beijing. First one is regulation and policies. These are the some of the policies which is being formed by the government, like air pollution prevention and control action plan 2013 and the blue sky defense battle 2018. So they both are adopted by the citizen of the Beijing, so that the air pollution which is being spreading at a rapid growth should be controlled. Industrial upgradation, the industries which are adopting outdated objects, and due to that also air pollution is being increasing. So for all those industries, they have been upgraded so that cleaner technologies and processes should be done, so that the air pollution can be minimized, or when the industries are using more energy efficiency and emissions reduction, then the government provides them different incentives also. Vehicle emission control. Measures including electric and hybrid vehicles, improving fuel quality, and implementing stricter emission standards for vehicles. So vehicles are also held responsible for creating the air pollution. As we have already studied that from the vehicles, many gaseous elements is being released that are act as a pollutants for the air, and those pollutants comprises of the harmful gases like sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, nitrogen oxide. So when the emissions of these vehicles is being controlled, which ultimately helps in reducing the air pollution. Public transportation is also one of the way to control the air pollution. When people are more depending on the public transport instead of carrying their own vehicle, then the harmful gases which is being released from the vehicle is being controlled, as they are not being on the road, which are so their emissions can be controlled. Green energy concept is also introduced by the government of the Beijing, so that people may rely more on the renewable sources of energy like wind, solar, and hydropower instead of depending on the fossil fuels which are polluting. Afforestation is being done so that the harmful gases can be absorbed by the plants and the healthy environment can be created. So these are the mitigation measures which is being adopted by the city of China, that is Beijing. Results and ongoing challenges. Here is the result after adopting those mitigation measures. What are the results which is being seen, which is being monitored by the Beijing? So first one is improvement. It means there is the improvement which is being found after adopted all those mitigations measures. So first we will go through it. Like Beijing has seen improvements in the air quality over the past decades. The concentration of major pollutant like PM 2.5 has decreased and the number of heavily polluted day has reduced, which means all those mitigation measures which we have studied in our previous slides, those were adopted by the citizens of the China very on a very serious note, and which results in a positive way. Like there is an improvement found when it has been monitored that the air quality of the city is being improved over the past decades, and the major pollutants such as PM 2.5, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxide, carbon dioxide, they have been decreased, so which may results in decreasing the air pollution. So there is been the constant improvement is being observed in the city of Beijing after adopted the mitigations measures. Now, what are the challenges one has faced for controlling the air pollution? Despite progress, Beijing still faces challenges in maintaining and further improving air quality. There is a progress, but the complete elimination of the air pollution is not being done from the Beijing, as Beijing is still faces many challenges in maintaining and further improving the air quality. Factors such as rapid urbanization, economic growth pressure, and transboundary pollution continue to pose significant hurdles, which means there are still many factors who are contributing towards the air pollution, like rapid urbanization. Urbanization means when the people from the rural areas is being shifted towards the cities, and those cities is being developed. The construction process is being done for the sake of that people, and due to that the overpopulation, urbanization is being done, and which ultimately held responsible in the air pollution. Economic growth pressure, transboundary pollution, pollution which is being appearing in neighboring countries is also being responsible for creating a pollution in the Beijing, as we have already studied that the air pollutants are can air pollutant can move easily from one place to another at a very distance level. So transboundary, if our neighbor country is suffering from the air pollution, then its effect may also be seen in our country also. So likewise, the neighboring countries who of China, if they are suffering from the air pollution, then China is still being uh, facing challenges in maintaining the air quality. So these are some of the challenges. Air pollution, which means that air pollution is somehow controlled but still is present over there. It's not it is not eliminated, but if the corrective measures, mitigations measures which we have studied, they have been adopted regularly, they have been adopted by every citizen of the China, then easily the air pollution can be controlled. Conclusion: air pollution in Beijing is a complex issue with multiple sources and far-reaching impacts. While significant progress has been made through various mitigation measures, continuous efforts are required to address ongoing challenges. Collaborative efforts at local, national, and international levels are essential to achieving the sustained improvement in air quality. So, in conclusion, we can say that we have, after adopting mitigation measures, continuous efforts are required to maintain those measures, otherwise their effects may be severe again. So continuous efforts are required, but if we collaborate efforts, and it's not a responsibility of the government to control the air pollution, it's a collaborative efforts of every citizen of the nation. Like at local level also we should adopt some steps, at national level, at international levels. So at all levels, at collaborative efforts only, we can easily, we can control the air pollution, which will enhance the improvement in the air quality. So we can say that after that air pollution is being arising rapidly, but if we adopt those mitigation measures at a serious level, and with our collaborative efforts, we are able to control the air pollution easily. So this is a case study of Beijing, which is being situated in China, where people are facing the major consequences of the air pollution. The consequences is being suffered by the human, by the animals, as well as by the plants. So for that sake, we have to adopt some of the controllable measures, otherwise their consequences may be very disastrous, and our future generation may also get affected due to that. Now, this is our next case study. That case study is related to water pollution in the Ganges River. As the picture depicts itself, that this is a river, Ganga is flowing, and these peoples are taking bath, and many plastic material is being surrounded by the Ganga's river. So due to this, water pollution is being arising. So under this case study, we are going to study what is the problem behind it, what are the impacts of the water pollution which is being done in the Ganges river, and what are the corrective measures is being adopted to control the water pollution. At first, we will go through the background of this case study. So the Ganges river, which is known as Ganga in India, is one of the most significant and sacred river in the world. So as we have already know that there is a river which is being situated worldwide known as Ganges river, but in India it is popularly known as Ganga. And in India, Ganga is being served as a significant and sacred river, which means that peoples are thought that the river is which is being flowing is coming out from the Lord Shiva. So the Lord Shiva, which is the god of the Hindus, is being, the Ganga river is flowing is because of him. So people who are the devotees of the Lord Shiva, they thought that the river which is being flowing is a sacred one. So due to this factor only, this is being polluted, as people are traveling a lot to take a bath in this river. So it flows through northern India and Bangladesh, covering a distance of about 2525 kilometers. So the river Ganga is being flowing from the northern India, and it is going towards the Bangladesh, and total distance which is being covered by river Ganga is 2525 kilometer. Despite its religious significance, the Ganga is one of the most polluted river in the world, suffering from various forms of pollution, including domestic sewage, industrial effluents, and religious offerings. So, as people are thinking that it is a sacred river, and it's, instead of all these things, it is the most polluted one among the world, and the reason is as it consists of the domestic sewage, it consists of the industrial effluents, and people are offering religious objectives up to river Ganga directly, and which ultimately results to the water pollution. So this is the background of the study, that the river Ganga, which is being situated in northern India and Bangladesh, and covers a distance of 2525 kilometers, and it is being polluted, one of the most polluted river among the world. So what are the various reasons which is being contributed towards it, and why it is why the uh, why the river is being causing a water pollution? Sources of water pollution. Now we are going to study the different sources of the water pollution which are being contributed in the river Ganga. So first one is domestic sewage. A major source of pollution in the Ganga is untreated sewage from densely populated cities and towns along its banks. An estimated 2.9 billion liters of untreated or partially treated sewage is dumping into the river daily. So domestic sewage is held responsible for making Ganga river polluting. One, as the domestic sewage, without treating it, it has been released directly into the river Ganga, and which held responsible for creating the water pollution. And it has been observed that the estimation of 2.9 billion liters of untreated domestic sewage is being dumped directly into the river daily. 2.9 billion liters, such a huge number. So ultimately it results in causing the water pollution. So domestic sewage is one of the biggest reason of creating a water pollution. Next is industrial effluents. Numerous industries, including tanneries, textiles, and paper mills, discharge toxic waste into the river. So these effluents contain hazardous chemicals such as heavy metals, dyes, and pesticides. So industries who are being involved in the work of textiles production, manufacturing, like industries like textile, paper mills, they also discharge toxic waste into the river directly without treating it, and those harmful chemicals may leads to the causing hazardous chemicals, which may leads to the water pollution, such as by releasing the hazardous chemicals, heavy metal, dyes, and pesticides directly into the Ganga river, and which may pollute the water, and the aquatic body may also get suffer by it. Next is agricultural runoff. The use of fertilizers and pesticides in agriculture leads to runoff that carries these chemicals into the river, contributing to nutrient pollution and harmful algal blooms, which means agriculture is also responsible for creating the water pollution. As we know that for increasing the productivity of the soil, for increasing the production of the crops, many fertilizers is being used. So when the fertilizers is being used, the fertilizers and pesticides in agriculture leads to runoff, that runoff water that mixes with the pond or lake and ultimately comes into the river, and these chemicals contributing to nutrient pollution and harmful algal blooms. And when these chemicals come in contact with the water, any of the water body, then it may creates a harmful algal blooms. So agriculture runoff is also held responsible for creating a water pollution. Religious and cultural practice. So as Ganga river is being considered as a sacred river of the India, then uh, people considering it as, if one if a person is taking bath in the Ganga river, so the all those sins he has committed is being washed away. So many of the people just take a bath into the Ganga river, which may also become a reason of polluting it. So the ritual bath, ceremoniation and the disposal of religious offering also contribute to the river pollution. So cremations, when someone dies, and all those particles after providing a dead body fire, so all those particle is being put into one of the pot, and those pot is being released directly into the water, which contaminates the water body. So this is also a reason of creating a water pollution. And the disposal of religious offerings, so all those offerings which consist of flowers and some of other uh, objects, which may be in the form of plastic also, they are also contributing towards the river pollution. Many of the objects like statue of god, goddess is being also released directly into the Ganga river, and they are consisting of the paints, chemical paints or plastic objects. They are causing a hazardous impact to the physical or biological property of the water, and which is being sometime is being consumed by the uh, life aquatic water bodies, and which is being and later on, if they are being consumed by all the aquatic life, it may leads to their death also. So partially burned human bodies and the organic waste add to the organic load in the river, are also being responsible for creating the water pollution. So religious and cultural practices is also held responsible for creating a water pollution. Next is solid waste. Solid waste comprises of disposal of plastic, paper and other solid waste into the river, exacerbates the pollution problem. Solid waste, which is comprises of the plastic waste, paper, are also held responsible for creating a water pollution. As we have already studied that the solid waste consisting of a plastic took several years to get disposing of. It is not a biodegradable waste, so once it is being deposited into the water body, then it causes a severe effect to the water body. So these are the some of the sources of the water pollution. What These are the sources of the water pollution which is being held responsible in creating a pollution in river Ganga, that is one of the longest river and one of the most populated river in the world. So the sources can be in the form of domestic sewage, industrial effluents, agricultural runoff, religious and cultural practices, and solid waste. Now, here are some of the mitigation measures which is being adopted by the citizens with the help of the government, so that the river Ganga can be protected and the air pollutions can be, and the water pollution can be diminished. So, these are the plans with legislative measures which is being formed by the government of India. Like first one is Ganga Action Plan. In short form, it is also known as GAP. So Ganga Action Plan, which is being launched in 1986, the GAP aimed to reduce pollution level in the river by constructing sewage treatment plants and promoting environmental awareness. However, the plan faced implementation challenges and limited success. So, as the government has observed that the water pollution is being increasing, so for that sake, many mitigation measures is being formed so that the citizens of the India can adopt all those measures. So first one was Ganga Action Plan, which is being launched in 1986. So Ganga Action Plan majorly comprises of the things like the treatment of the sewage plants, and it also helps in promoting the environmental awareness, as we know that if the people are aware of the negative consequences which is being held responsible for the for creating the water pollutions, and the consequences can be observed on the humans as well as all the living organisms, so awareness must be there among the people. So for that sake, gap is being introduced, but this plan is not being successfully uh, done, as it has faced many challenges. So in 1986, gap is being formulated, but it has the plan faced challenges and has a limited success. Next is NGRBA. NGRBA, whose full form is National Ganga River Basin Authority, is being established in 2009. The NGRBA focused on a comprehensive approach to clean the Ganga by involving multiple stakeholders, including central and state government, local communities, and non-governmental organizations. So NGRBA, which is being established in 2009, and its main aim is to focus on the comprehensive approach to clean the Ganga by involving stakeholders like central and state government, local communities, and non-governmental organizations. So the NGRBA thoughts that the uh, that for diminishing the water pollution, collaborative efforts are being required. So for that sake, the central, state, and local government is come along, and some of the NGOs have also joined it to create to stop the water pollution. So it has been established in 2009, and the main aim is to contribute in stopping the water pollution by having a collaborative efforts of the stakeholders like central, state government, and the local communities, and with the help of some of the great NGOs, that is non-governmental organizations. After this, Namami Ganga program is also being launched in 2014. So this flagship initiative of the Indian government aims to rejuvenate the Ganges by controlling pollution, conserving and rejuvenating the river ecosystem, and promoting sustainable development. So Namami Ganga program is also being launched in the 2014 so that the pollution can be controlled. The key components of Namami Ganga program are as follow. First one is sea waste treatment. So it has 5 components. First one is sea waste treatment. Second one is industrial effluent monitoring. Third is rural sanitation. Fourth is riverfront development. Fifth is public awareness. So first one, treatment, setting up new sewage treatment plant and upgrading existing ones. So in this, government has gives a order of setting up of new sewage treatment plants. Due to this, the sewage which is being which collected from the household is not being released directly into the water bodies. It should be treated first, and those sewage treatment plants which were existing, they need to be upgraded with the help of the technology, so that the disposal of the sewage can be done easily treating without releasing directly them into the water body. Next is Industrial effluent monitoring, enforcing regulation on industries to ensure proper effluent treatment before discharge. So the effluents, gaseous elements, chemicals which is being formed due to the industries, due to the manufacturing process being done into the industries, and the pollutants which is being releasing from directly from the industries which are held responsible for creating a water pollution. So the regulations on industries to ensure proper effluent and treatment before discharge. So government has formed many of the rules and regulation which our industrialist has to follow, otherwise they may suffer from penalties also. So industrial effluent monitoring is being done with the help of the government, so that the proper effluent treatment should be there before discharging all those harmful chemicals directly into the water body. Next is rural sanitation, implementing program to promote open defecation free villages along the river. So proper river sanitation is being there, so that the defecation free villages along the, so that one should promote open defecation free villages along the river. Next is riverfront development, developing ghats and crematoria to prevent the disposal of waste into the rivers. So government has formed different kinds of ghats, so that all the religious activities can take place on those ghats, and the objects which is being put into the water by the people should be treated first there before releasing directly into the water body. Last is public awareness. Many campaigns is being formed to educate and engage the public in river conservation efforts. So awareness is being also there among the um, awareness should be spread among the people, so that the negative consequences of the water pollution one should know, and the controllable measures can also be taken by all those people. So awareness is being done by campaigns which helps in educating and engaging the public in river conservation efforts. So these are the some of the key components which our Namami Ganga program is being consisting of. So these are the three major programs which is being adopted by the government of India, so that the river Ganga may get protected from the water pollution. First one is GAP, which is being formed into 1986, but it has faced many challenges and it has limited success. So later on another program is being introduced, that is known as National Ganga River Basin Authority, which is being established in 2009, which thought that the cleaning of water bodies can be done through a collective collaborative efforts of the central, state and local communities, and with the help of the NGOs. Later on in 2013, Namami Ganga program is being launched, which consists of the 5 components. First one is sea-based treatment should be there, industrial effluent monitoring should be there time to time, so that corrective measures may be taken, and the rural sanitation, riverfront development, and public awareness is also the public awareness should also be there, so that the people should know the negative consequences of the water pollution, and the pollution can be controlled. So these are the some of the mitigation measures. Results and ongoing challenges. So after adopting all those mitigation measures, improvement has been found, but there are some challenges also. So improvement that has been observed is that there have been some improvement in water quality in certain stretches of the river due to increased sewage treatment capacity and stricter enforcement of industrial discharge norms. So after following the mitigation measures, improvement has been seen somehow, like water quality is being improved as due to increasing sewage treatment capacity, and the stricter enforcement of industrial discharge norms. So by adopting sewage treatment capacity and the industries, by forming different regulations for the industries who are being involved in the work of creating the chemicals, and if the enforcement of industries is being done by seeking in mind that they do not creating any pollution, it also helped in diminishing the water pollution. If the industrialists are still not obeying the regulations which is being formed, then they may suffer from a huge penalty and closure of their industry. So improvement is being observed up to some limit with the help of by when the increased sewage treatment capacity is being done and the stricter enforcement of industrial discharge norms are being formulated. But despite of this, there are many challenges also. So despite these efforts, pollution level in the Gangas remain high. Issues such as insufficient infrastructure, bureaucratic hurdles, lack of coordination among agencies, and cultural practices continue to impede progress. So these are some of the challenges which is being faced by the environment, and if these challenges are not being resolved timely, then the effects may be very disastrous. So the challenges which is being faced are like insufficient infrastructure. The infrastructure which is being done by the government, like they have formed some of the ghats are few in numbers, and they are not completely provide a solution of stopping of all the water pollutions, as well as bureaucratic hurdles also creating a challenge for stopping the water pollution, as well as the lack of coordination among the different agencies, different non-government agencies. If they are not coordinating properly with each other, then they may also held responsible, then the challenges may also arise, and thus the water pollution cannot be stopped. And also the cultural practices continue to impede the progress. A cultural practice, as people of India, they thought that they consider it as a sacred river. So the religious and the cultural practices is being continued, and due to this also the water pollution is still arising. So these are the challenges. Few improvements have been observed, but there are many challenges. So these challenges may be controlled, otherwise the consequences may be disastrous. Next is conclusion. So from this case study, the conclusion has been drawn that the Ganges river pollution is a complex issue involving multiple sources and stakeholders. While various initiatives have been launched to address the problem, achieving sustained improvement required continuous efforts, better infrastructure, stricter enforcement of regulations, and greater public participation. A holistic and integrated approach considering social, economic, and environmental aspect is essential for the long-term rejuvenation of the Ganges River. So in conclusion, we can say that after going through this case study, we have observed that the Ganges river pollution is a very complex in nature, as there are multiple sources of it, and those sources are not being controlled easily. So if the awareness among the people will be there, then only the sources may be controlled with the help of the stakeholders. While many initiative is being taken with the help of the government, but their proper implementation is still not done due to the infrastructure facilities, due to bureaucratic handles, due to lack of coordination among the agencies and the cultural practice. So the improvement require continuous efforts, better infrastructure, and stricter enforcement of regulation, and greater public participation. So this is a holistic and integrated approach which considers social, economic, and environmental aspect, which is essential for the long-term rejuvenation of the Ganga river. So we can say that this is a holistic approach which comprises of all the economic, social, and environmental aspects, and all these are contributing towards it. So one should it's not a individual responsibility, it's a collaborative responsibility which considers the social, economic, and environmental aspect is essential for the long term rejuvenation from the Ganga's river. That's all for today's class. Thank you everyone. Have a great day.